morning. I'm headed down to Springfield. I've got the trailer on. Come down here to pick up some tires, wheels, so we can mount them on our skidder. New set of rubber. Have it ready to go. Dad and Kenny went up to Quincy to cut this morning. The rain missed us last night. We got lucky. I watch the weather a lot. I'm getting to the ripe old age of my life where I watch the weather probably more than I should, or stay in tune to it a lot. But when your job kind of depends on it and that's your livelihood, you really need to. So they claim that we had some strong southern winds yesterday, which we did, and that kind of pushed the front a little further to the north. So just north of us, not too far, they got some weather last night, but it missed us. Pretty sure it missed our job site where it is, because it's a little further north of where we live. But once I go up here and get these loaded up, get them back home, I've got to run up to Smithton, Missouri today, just outside of Sedalia. Look, a little job of walnut up there. I've got a 2:30 appointment up there. So it gives me enough time to get down here, get home, then ease up that way. Always like to give myself a little cushion. I don't like to have to run by the gun too much. You never know what might come up, especially right now with the world in such a mess. But excited to have these tires on, or get these tires back so we can put them on. On the way home yesterday, me and Dad were talking, and Dad said, when things let loose, they're really going to let loose, and which he's right, because we've got a couple really big jobs that are just kind of the weather. The weather is just a factor on them right now. So as soon as the weather gets the slightest bit workable, we're going to have two really big jobs open up, and we've still got some of these smaller jobs we got to take care of in the meantime. So we really need all of our machines in good working order and ready to run. So that's kind of the plan. Get this rubber back on the 548, and I'll probably run up and pick up our 540 this weekend. It's still parked at Odessa. We'll get it home, get the chains off of it. I need to do a few little odds and ends to it, just kind of some maintenance. Have it ready to work, and then get ready for the hot dog days of summer, because honestly they're right around the corner. April's in sight. We're at the tail end of March here, so ready for it. I know I'm ready to go back to work. That's one thing I know I'm ready for. So let's go down here and get some tires, get on with the day. Got the old ones on, got the new ones coming on. I don't want to throw my old tires away. I like to keep them. Never know when you're going to need an extra or spare. Or, for instance, sell them. I've got the 28s. I've got them listed for sale. Tires and wheels that we took off one skidder. Now these are Primex tires, a little cheaper. I prefer the Firestones. We've had these for a while and needed to put them on. But yeah, I do prefer the Firestones. But for us, I think these will last a long time. The main thing is, like I tell anybody with tires, just keep your roads clear. Keep the debris out of your roads. Don't run over debris. Try to keep from that as much as possible. We've had new skidder tires before, and on 28s for one of our skidders, and they've worked out well. Like I said, you keep your roads clear, you can make them last a long time. Let's get chained down. Well, we didn't get to go to the woods this morning because it rained like a banshee. Now the sun's out and the wind's blowing, so hopefully it'll dry out. But one thing we are doing is putting these tires on the skidder. This will be fun, I'm sure. Probably a two-handed job, really, instead of me trying to video and have 1.5 hands. I'm trying to get a plan of attack here. All right. me see if I can do this one. So we got the tire, a little help from Mike, he got it on there. Now we're kind of snugging up the first few bolts, trying to get everything lined up. Now Benny here is our go-to mechanic because I am not a mechanic at all. Brandon or anybody else can tell you I'm not a mechanic. That's why you see Brandon working on a lot of stuff in our videos. Because Brandon and I grew up together and he very well knows that there's not a wrench or a welder or anything that belongs in my hand. I'm much better with a pen and a checkbook than I am turning wrenches. And I at least know that. And so I've learned that it's a lot better for me just to pay someone to do it right instead of paying them to fix my mistakes, then to do it right. So, our air source is coming off the back of my truck there. I've got a big 3-stage compressor on the back. I've had on the last 3 trucks. I don't use it a lot, but it's really handy when you need it. It makes a lot of air. We can run this big 1-inch impact. Always got ample amount of air for it. We're running about 3/4 throttle on it, maybe a little less. Not too hard, but yeah, it does make a lot of air. Pretty excited to see this machine with the new wheels and tires on it. These narrower wheels, the dish isn't so wide on them, or so deep, whatever you want to call it. They don't offset near as much, so I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know it looks like I'm not doing anything because I'm setting the skid steer, which really I'm not. I'm just kind of moving the tires from A to B and getting them secured into place. We got Mike here for some muscle, then Benny turning wrenches and making sure everything's right. Rained out this morning. We didn't get to go to the woods. It's been rainy all day until now. The wind's blowing. Seems to be like 100 miles an hour. Exaggerating a little there, I know, but the sun's out, so hopefully some mushrooms will come up. I know some people have been finding a few, but we haven't had time to look. We've been so busy between looking at timber and wishing and praying to get in the timber, and just some odds and ends like this. I feel like a crane operator. I don't do much, but I do a little bit. Got the back half done. Working on the front one now. Looking pretty good. It's all going together pretty quick. Pretty simple deal. You got 3 hands working on it. Tell you what, I don't brag on Mike enough, but I'll brag on him in situations like this when we swap wheels and tires. Mike's as strong as an ox. He really is. And man, it's definitely helpful to have him around when we do things like this, just to have his honestly, to have his sheer muscle around. He's pretty valuable in situations like this. We do here. So yeah, it's going together smooth. We're ready to get this thing on a job site. I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to see it in action with these little narrower wheels. Well, same with the wheel, just like I said, the offset. These are dished in where the other wheels that were on it were dished all the way out. 23 ones just like before, but yeah, I'm excited to get this thing back in the woods. Now Benny he's greased all the holes before he puts the bolts in there, just to keep them from rusting or seizing up in case these things got to come back off here again for some reason. If you ever take a set of wheels and tires off of a skidder, if they've been on there for a long time, they're hard to bust loose. Greasing them sure helps with that. So we just kind of let Benny do whatever he thinks needs to be done. Like I said, he's a genius when it comes to this old iron. Doesn't matter if it's agriculture, construction, forestry. That's all he's done his whole life is work on machinery and equipment, engines and hydraulics. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know about it, that's for sure. Get him snugged up here. Whoop. These little D model skidders are pretty hard to find. the 548s, and especially the 540s. I'm a big fan of them. I really think, as far as the simplicity of a skidder goes, and the size, you know, after when Deere went from the D series to the E series, the whole scope of the skidder, the size of it, and the dynamics of it kind of changed around with the configuration of the machine. Now, we had a G one time, a 548G, and I absolutely loved it. I hate that we got rid of it, and I'd love to have another one. And maybe one of these days, if I can find the right deal, we'll have another one. But for now, these D's and B's seem to do us pretty good, especially for select cut like we do. We move a lot of wood, fortunately. Let's see if we can get this other tire real quick, get it picked up, be ready to go. Now, I meant to finish this video up yesterday, but didn't get around to it. So we got all the tires on, and then turns out the last one we put on, the right front, I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, man, they don't look right. It was flat. So I've got that tire off. I'm going to take it back tomorrow. Today's Sunday morning, by the way. I'm going to take it back tomorrow to see if they can fix it. We tried airing it up, thinking maybe they just forgot to air it up. They got in a hurry. No such luck. It's leaking around the valve stem up in the cap. So they've probably pinched the tube or something. Just kind of the typical luck. But yeah, I mean, tires look pretty good on here. Deep in rubber. Pretty excited to try it out. So as soon as we get the other tire on fixed, it's going right to a job site. So we're pretty happy about that. So it's Sunday. We're gonna go try to work today since we didn't really get to yesterday. They're calling for more rain tomorrow night and into Tuesday. So right now we're just trying to make the most of what we can when we can. I'm not so worried about the virus getting us. I'm worried about the rain doing us in from not getting to work. So anyway, so yeah, that'll be the cap on this video. Then today I'll actually get some footage of two of us at work, and you'll see today's working video probably Monday or Tuesday. But I'll at least try to get this put together with the tire deal. It's kind of about like anything lately. It seems like it's been just kind of a cluster. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with those wheels and tires. That's really made that skidder look good. That skidder's in really, really good shape. That's one of our better skidders as far as overall condition of the machine, leaks. It's really in tip-top shape, that little 548 there is. So I'm going to go ahead and load the skid steer up because we've got to put in a landing first thing this morning. And then hopefully we'll start having a bunch of walnut hit the deck. And some pretty big burr oak too. I guess Dad cut a burr oak the other day. It's just out of this world big. Well, let me slow down there. Not out of this world. I think like at 12 foot it was like 28 inches, or 14 foot it was 28 inches. I don't know. I didn't see it. I was I was getting the tires when all that transpired. So we'll get loaded up. Hopefully you'll see that in tomorrow's video. See ya. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.